So it's November 1st, and I don't know if you people know what that means if you don't live in America, but essentially that means it's time for Christmas shopping season to start. Yeah! And I mean, you guys probably know at this point, I work as a cashier. And so, I'm gonna have my 2 cents on this. But just to throw this out there, in case you're unaware, if you don't live in America, and you might be thinking like, oh, Christmas shopping season starts like, I don't know, fucking close to Christmas. Maybe like Black Friday. I thought that's when Christmas shop. No, actually, this is even cutting it kind of close, because I know many people that do their Christmas shopping before even Halloween. But as far as the stores are concerned, Christmas shit goes out as early as August in my store. I'm not even kidding here. And, we get Christmas wrap in, we get ornaments, we get all that shit in throughout all of September and October. When we set up the Halloween wall, okay, get this, when we set up the Halloween wall, we had to set it up half Halloween and then half Christmas. That's how it was set up. So that's basically the stores telling us that Christmas and Halloween, or it's like we can't just have just Halloween, because people Christmas shop at this time too, so we have to just cut it in half and kind of micromanage, because people want to Christmas shop at this time. Halloween's just an afterthought. That's basically what it's becoming. So you can just take, it's kind of sad when you look at Christmas is supposed to be, or at least it started out as, a festival that takes place at the end of the year, a festival to kind of celebrate during the dark and lonely winter months that you're supposed to have all merry and joy and get presents and, sing Christmas carols and just have a good old fun time. And it's only supposed to, you ever hear it's only fun if it's once a year, because that way it's like, let's say if you had Christmas every single day, the freaking novelty would wear off fucking quickly. And the novelty of this is starting to wear off quickly when people are shopping for Christmas presents when you can literally go down to the old swimming hole and have a nice dip in 85-degree weather. That should not be the case. We should not have Christmas wreaths and stockings in the store when that happens. All right? But yeah, no, Christmas season pretty much, the shopping season essentially began today. And if anyone told you otherwise, they're wrong, because this is the day that all the Halloween shit goes bye-bye, and Christmas, people are going like, okay, we had fun at that Halloween party last night, let's go buy a bunch of shit. And we were swamped today. It was hectic as shit. Walmart was swamped today. It was fun. My boss had to work a 30-hour shift. You heard me right, a 30-hour shift from 4 p.m. yesterday to 9 o'clock tonight, straight through, just so she could set up all the Christmas shit that we needed to set up. And yeah, people come in today and buy a plethora of, wrapping paper. See, we don't sell a lot of Christmas presents at our store for obvious reasons. We're a dollar store. So most people come in and they just, buy Christmas wrap, but they buy a shit ton of it. And that stuff, just a minor little complaint from a lonely little menial cashier here. That shit is hard to bag, because the largest bag we have is like this big in comparison to a piece of wrapping paper, which is this long. So, they're like, can I have a bag for that? And I'll be like, I can put it in a bag, but it's not going to help. It's going to only cover like half of it. And she's like, well, put it in a bag anyway. I'm like, okay, here. Oh, sorry. So yeah, that's just a minor complaint. But, this is when it starts, and it's not even at the critical point yet. It used to be Black Friday was supposed to be the start of the Christmas shopping season. No, that is just the apex now. That is like we're climbing up the mountain, we're getting close. You hit Black Friday, and even after Black Friday, everything kind of slows down after that in terms of Christmas shopping. It's really weird, because Black Friday has become this huge, cultural phenomenon. If you don't know what Black Friday is, because, I'm an ignorant American, I don't know if that same thing is carried over to other countries. Basically, Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving. It's on the Friday after Thanksgiving, which is Thanksgiving is on the last Thursday of every month, last Thursday of November every year. And Black Friday is basically a day where you get these insanely good deals at certain stores like Target, Macy's, Walmart is the big one. Walmart is always the one you hear people getting trampled and getting ended up in the hospital or even dying. Yeah, that shit actually happens. I believe it. I totally believe it. It's really funny, too, because it's like when people get hurt, even critically, or even die on Black Friday, people don't really care. And what I mean when I say people don't care is if you go up to somebody and you say, oh, can you believe this guy over in Omaha, he got freaking trampled and killed by a guy on Black Friday? He's like, oh man, people are crazy that time of year. Yeah, people are really crazy that time of year. Those crazy shoppers. 1 week later, they won't even. It's like, oh, that's such a terrible idea. But 1 week later, no one will even, no one even bring it up. Even next Black Friday, no one will bring it up. No one will mention, like, oh yeah, there's that one guy that died. Like, we know it happens. This shit happens. People, you should not go to Walmart and think, hey, I'm gonna go and buy myself a cheap laptop, and then you leave on a stretcher. That shit should not happen. That should not be on your itinerary. You should not have to wear a freaking Kevlar vest and, like, riot gear when you go shopping. That should not be a thing. People should have, I don't know, something called freaking dignity. Just being like, hey, yeah, I'm not going to act like a crazy rabid primal animal to grab this freaking TV set. I don't care if it's $200 and it's like 50 inches. I'm not going, well, okay, that's going a little bit too far, but I don't care how cheap it is. I'm not going to act like a wild animal. And you might be thinking, people don't actually act like that. My good sir, you have no idea. Okay? No, you don't know. Now, let me tell you guys a story. This is me firsthand, alright? This is starting a tradition that is going to continue. I know for a fact it used to. It just started last year where I live, but it's going to be a new tradition. How it used to go is that Black Friday would be on a Friday. So what they would do is, Walmart especially, other stores too, but I'm most familiar with Walmart because my mom works there. And I always joke, like, every Black Friday, Mom, you need to bring, like, a freaking riot gear. You need to deck yourself out. You need to bring in a freaking Panzerschreck or something. You need to be protected because, you don't want to be, like, held at gunpoint. Because, that shit happens, too. Like, when the PS3 came out, some dude got stabbed in a town not too far from here. He got his PS3, walked outside, got stabbed by some dude, took his PS3. That shit happens. But it's funny now because the PS3 is like $200. But it's going to happen with the PS4. I guarantee you there's going to be at least one incident in this country in the upcoming Xbox One and PS4 releases where some motherfucker is going to get stabbed. It's going to happen. That's not even being psychic. It is going to happen, and that is so sad that is going to happen. But anyway, I digress. So how Black Friday used to work is that really early in the morning, like around 4 a.m., that's when they would start the deals. You'd have the employees come in and they would set everything up maybe around midnight, 1 a.m., and by 4 o'clock you'd be ready to, like, some places actually opened up at midnight, but Walmart started like 4 o'clock. So you'd have people that would actually show up that early in the morning. People would call off work for this shit. Of course they would. So they would go there and they would shop like crazy. The thing is, though, I guess a lot of the corporations, and I do not know why I know why, but, it's a terrible idea for them to do this, is they decided, well, that whole Black Friday thing, we can't really be doing that at 4 a.m. because that's not letting, like, a lot of people can't get to the deals that early, people don't wake up that early. So they decided last year, particularly in my area, in the Walmarts, to start the deals Thanksgiving night. So the whole instance of Black Friday is pretty much out the window at this point. It's basically no one gives a fuck about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is an afterthought. It's not even worried. Like how big our Thanksgiving section is at Dollar Tree right now? We have 5 aisles devoted to Christmas. That's just aisles. We have end caps, like the end points of the aisles. We have that shit stocked with Christmas. We have 5 aisles devoted for Christmas. Each one of those aisles has an end cap devoted to Christmas. So we have easily that much Christmas shit. Thanksgiving is not even an end cap. It's like the length of, it's probably the length of my bed. That's like that row is all Thanksgiving shit. That's all it is. Thanksgiving, no one cares about Thanksgiving. Sorry, Pilgrims. Pilgrims, you kind of sucked anyway. I mean, we all like to listen to the story about Thanksgiving, just like, oh, the Pilgrims arrived in Plymouth, and they had a hard winter, but they befriended the Indians, and they helped them plant the maize, and they had a great little Thanksgiving dinner, and everything was just so and charming. Yeah, do you ever let out the part where the Pilgrims and the Puritans were actually really freaking intensely religious, because even though they fled England because of being persecuted for their religious beliefs, these are the kinds of people that if you were accused of being like a sinner in any way, these are the kind of people that would whip you to fucking like bloody pulps and then kick you out of their freaking village. Yes, maybe a little bit darker part of history, but I digress. This is such a scattershotted video. I don't even know what the freaking plot is. But anyway, going back to Black Thursday, Thanksgiving, what the fuck ever. So they decided to start Black Friday on Thanksgiving at 8 o'clock. And how they did it was, if I recall correctly, some of the deals started at 8 o'clock, but others didn't start till 10. So basically what you had to do is, if you wanted to get this certain deal on like a TV or a GPS or something, and you wanted to make sure you had it, you had to go to Walmart at like 8 o'clock, grab it, but you couldn't check out until 10. So that way it gives you like, oh, 2 extra hours to shop in this freaking clusterfuck of white trash Americana. So, I wasn't going to go. I knew it was going to happen. I read the ads for it because, of course, my mom works there. She told me about it. So last year, I was literally, I was at home. I went to my friend's place earlier that day. No, I was at my dad's because it was Thanksgiving, yeah. So, I had Thanksgiving dinner. I came home. I took a shower. I was all relaxed. It was probably like 8:15 at night. And I laid down and I looked through the little catalog thing. And I'm just thinking like, okay, these are actually not that bad deals. Because they were doing like insanely good deals on like Modern Warfare 3. Because this was right back when, this was right after Black Ops 2 came out. So MW3 was like $20. It was actually a really, freaking good price. And it said, well, sales only start at 8 o'clock and it's only 8:15. I guess I could go. So, and I get dressed and I go. And I work in this plaza. I work here every single day. Practically every single day. Or at least I'm there pretty much every single day, regardless if I work or not. Because this is where I buy all my shit. So, I work in this plaza, and I have never seen it more packed than this day. This plaza is gigantic. You could fit probably upwards of like 400 or 500 cars in this fucking thing. And it's all filled. It was like a freaking, like pothole on the freaking street, filled up. Whole thing. Like, there were people parking in a fucking field. There were people parking, in the Dairy Queen across the street. There were people parking in the Burger King next to the Dairy Queen across the street. Isn't that ironic? Burger King next to Dairy Queen, whatever. So, I ended up parking in like a good shot, I found some parking spot. Probably was a handicap part, but who cares? It's Black Thursday. No one cares about handicap. So I parked there, and this should have been a forewarning for me. This should mean, like, okay, if this parking lot filled with all these cars is like filling to the brim, what's it going to be like in there? Because all the other stores are closed. Because it's Thanksgiving. No one's open. My store's even closed. Except for fucking Walmart. So I'm like, okay, I know. Because everybody here is in there. There's not going to be enough oxygen to breathe. And it was. It was freaking hot as hell in there. So anyway, I go in. Battle zone. Like, people squeezing in between people, grabbing shit, First thing I saw when I came in, was, it was a dad, and then it was funny. It was like a thing out of like, Looney Tunes. Okay, it was, the dad was in front, right? And the wife was behind him, and it was like 2 kids, and they were all like holding hands like a chain link, and the dad had like I don't know if it was like a microwave or something. He was like some kitchen appliance. He was holding over his hand. So he's like, come on, we have to go this way. It was hilarious. It was funny. It was just walking like, he's like, come on, Mabel, we can get out of here. We can do it, kids. Come on. Oh crap, we lost Christopher. No! We have to get the good deal on the fucking Beecher house, the coffee machine, whatever. We gotta leave you, man. I'm sorry, Christopher. That kind of shit. So, I walk in there, and I'm like, I should just turn around now. This isn't fucking worth it. But I don't. I go in. All the video games are picked clean. They're gone. And the whole place was just a wreck. People were yelling at each other, shouting at each other. Heard there was a fist fight or two that night, although I wasn't in that particular area. See, they had certain areas you had to line up for like several hours beforehand. Like if you wanted this deal on this computer, you had to line up at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon in order to get it. So it was crazy. I walked in there with the intent of spending like $25. I spent like 130. So that's Black Friday-itis, Black Thursday-itis. So I think there should be a national holiday. I think the last Saturday of November should be officially, like White Friday or Black Friday Remembrance Day for all of those that were harmed and possibly killed the day of Black Friday. Because yes, that shit happens. We are crazy Americans when it comes to good deals. If it's like, let me tell you something right now. Nothing makes an American flip their shit. Or at least okay, maybe not like me. Not like a traditional, normal, if you think yourself like, okay, I'm a reasonably intelligent American, Normal, though, that none of this makes you flip your shit more than if there's like a $300 TV and it gets marked down to $200. Anything below $200, like $190, holy shit, $190! I gotta freaking line up at noon for this shit, It's just like, it makes you question. It makes you question why we act this way. Right? It's like mob mentality. It really is. It is the saddest thing ever, too, to watch people act like this. You know, like, I don't... Okay, it's basically, it narrows down to this. It's like, wait, you have that TV? I want that TV. Your life is nothing because of that TV. Your personal injury is nothing unless me getting that TV. Boom! I got my TV, motherfucker. You know? That's how people act. It happens. It really does. This is me in retail. Bye.